Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Okay, first of all, I have to tell you something. In the last few days I've lost a couple of subscribers and I'm really sorry that you left, if you did. But there's been so much going on in my real life that I haven't been able to really put as much emphasis on the channel as I'd like to. One of the things that happened is on Tuesday we had power outage and we were without power until about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And that was the day of our concert. And it was very, very stressful. And I was not really in the proper mindset to actually meditate or do anything. And then yesterday at around 15 minutes till 11, I was thinking about going on and doing some cards. And then the power went out again. And the power was out until 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And so I couldn't do anything. And by the time the power came back on, I was an absolute mess. And I'll say it straight up, I have bad days too. And we all are going through a lot of stuff right now. And there's a lot of things happening in the world. And I think that a lot of the world events are kind of a reflection on personal events going on too. If you look at what's going on out there, and then you look at what's going on in here, then you see there's a sort of a connection to that. There's a lot of chaos happening in the world. And then when you go into a more finite version of everything, then there's that chaos going on in your personal life as well. So what you have to do is you have to try and find the balance with all of that, even in the times when it's like really stressful. And that's what I've been trying to do. And so that's why I haven't been on, because I'm trying to really find that inner balance with myself. So now I'm feeling, I wouldn't say completely balanced. I want to do a meditation, but I don't know if I can stay focused on it. And my guide said, oh, you can do it, you could do it, you could do it. But today I'm going to pull some cards, because I think that the world is right now in sort of a limbo. And I need to practice with my cards anyway, because I'm kind of out of practice. Let's see, they're all in there. Okay, I'm using the Gilded Tarot. And I'm going to see if I can find some kind of balance here. And I'm just going to pull some cards, and I'm going to see. I know that there's a lot of saber rattling going on, and there's a lot of some people are assuming that there's a lot of predestination. And so I split the deck, and I came up with the Five of Cups and the Tower card. Very, disappointing, very sad. But also, this Tower card is like a tower moment for a lot of people. And I think for the leadership in the U.S., I think it's a very, very telling card. You have a lot of stuff happening in the U.S. You have a lot of things going on. And you have, other countries and people suffering. And that's just, it's terrible. And I want to make sure that you guys are aware that just because I'm going through, went through all the stuff with the power outages and everything, does not mean that I'm not paying attention to what's going on outside, because I am. And the whole idea of all of this just shatters my heart. It just really, really breaks my heart what's going on. So this isn't me being insensitive about it, not by any stretch of the imagination. I am fully aware of what's happening in the world. I also am fully aware of what's going on right here in my own home. So when you have all of these things happening, and the power outage being a sort of a distraction from everything that's going on, then yeah, there's something going on. There's something just energetically that's happening, and I think you're noticing it. I'm noticing it. And oops, my cards just fell on my lap. No, nothing on the floor, but everything on my lap. So what I'm hoping to do is to just and here, look, the Five of Cups again. This is really, really this is very tragic and very, very sad. And the thing is all of this chess playing that's going on, and people trying to knight someone's, I don't know chess very, very well, trying to knight to the king or the queen. I know that the king is what you have to capture, but the queen is the one with the most power in chess. And I think that I think people are forgetting that. And these so-called kings are going around trying to say, I've got the biggest dog in the kennel, and I'm doing the biggest, doing the most, and I'm doing this, that, and the other. So let's see what we can get here. And I'm gonna pull the poster because I need to. Hopefully, I'll be able to read the cards. But I got the book here too. So let me get the poster here, so that I know at least what I'm pulling and what I'm saying. So yes, this is currently a learning process for me. I am learning tarot, and I am, sometimes I have good days with it, sometimes not so good days with it. So let's see if today's gonna be one of those good days. Okay, here we go. Let me just give these a little more lesson. Good. Okay, that's good. They said it's good. So the present situation, we have the Eight of Swords. And the Eight of Swords, I believe, signifies this idea that we feel like we're tied and bound, but it is of our own choosing, and that we have chosen to go into that kind of situation, and we have put ourselves in that place, and it is our option or our choice whether or not we come out of that situation in a good mindset, but also physically in a good place. So while this is not a very positive card, the reality is sometimes the things that happen to us are by our own choice and by our own choosing. So this is very apropos to what's going on in the world. A lot of people are choosing these things. They're saying, oh, my hands are tied, I can't do anything. But the reality is a lot of these things have been chosen. They have already chosen to do them. And it's crossed with the Three of Cups. And I have to look up the Three of Cups. But the Three of Cups, what this looks like is these people are dancing on top of these cups. Maybe this is just the people just basically saying, we don't care what your decisions are. We don't care what kind of troubles you have. We are tired of war. We are tired of all this saber rattling and all this masculine energy that's like going on, on steroids. A man and woman gazing. Oh, that's the Two of Cups. Sorry. 3 young women dance in the sky with streamers and sparkling lights. The colors they are dressed in represent the other elements: green for earth, blue for air, and red for fire. Before them, 2 cups pour water into a third, overflows, with 2 further streams of water flowing into the pool upon which it stands. We can see that 2 energies combined have created a third. Water is a symbol of our emotions, and in this instance, our cup is overflowing. That is very apropos to what's going on. We have a lot of high emotions going on. There's a sense of happiness, though, in this. The idea, dance is generally an idea of happiness. And I saw somewhere somebody was talking about dancing and singing as being a very highly spiritually motivative force. So when you go out and you dance, or when you go out and you sing, then you are finding that balance and finding that joy, or that sense of joy that has happened, that's within yourself. And maybe last week having this concert, for me personally, having this concert and being able to get up on stage and sing gave me that sense of euphoria that I hadn't had in a long time, because it was like I was working. And then when we finally got up on stage to sing, I came down from the stage and somebody said, "Hey, Yvette, how do you feel?" And I said, what a rush. What a rush. I was so happy. It just felt like everything had fallen into place. And that was that sense of joy that I found from dancing and singing. And so crossing this sense of euphoria and happiness with this feeling of burden and tied down is really quite telling. This is where the world is. And this is where we are. We are saying no to the war. We're saying no to all this masculine energy that's like kind of on steroids. And we're saying we want to have a better life and a better future for ourselves and for our families, for our kids, for everything. And this is where we are here. We are crossing them. We are saying no. We don't want that. Um, the the past is justice. Well, yeah, justice is. This is something that seems very, very. I don't want to say that it's that. Sorry, the ambulances are going crazy and the doors open. Hopefully, anyone who's involved is okay. This has been going on all morning. I don't know, there may have been an accident or something going on. But anyway, back to the reading. I'll try and let me just pause it and I'll close the door. Okay, door's closed. I can still hear it. It's crazy. But something's really going on around here, and that was just so loud. The ambulances here are absolutely loud, and when they start going off, the Autobahn is just a few hundred meters from our balcony. And because of all the construction work that's going on in our area, there's a lot of noise out there. Okay, back to the reading. Sorry about that. So justice is the card that's in the past, and we sense that justice was served, and that justice was due, and that justice came, and it was fast and furious, if you will. The interesting thing that I find with these cards is that look at both of these. In both instances, the people are blindfolded. There is a blindfold over their face. But look at how the Justice card seems to be in control of what's going on. She seems to have this sense that she is in control of all of the things that are happening around her. And whereas this one feels like she's captive. And so in the past, I think we felt like we had that sense of control that was in our lives, that we could, contend with everything that was going on. And that's personified by this Justice card. Behind us is the Page of Cups. The Page of Cups, he looks very... he's got a nice looking fellow there. He's got the cup in his hand, and he is the pages you tend to come across to me as youthful energy, and I think that this is like the young people have feel betrayed by what's going on, and I think that the young people are the ones they're the ones being sent to fight in these skirmishes and these W words, and people are tired. The young people specifically are tired. They don't want to go fight somebody else's battles. And the problem is you have a bunch of 70-plus-year-old people who are saber rattling, and they're saying, "Oh, we got the biggest army, and we've got all this, and we got that, and everything." And yet they are the ones who are the pages. The young people are the ones who have to suffer for this over toxic masculinity that's going on. And I think that this is what has been happening. The young people are the ones who are being sent to do all this, and they don't want to do it. The overlying energy is the Hierophant, and I have to think for a minute what the Hierophant is. I think there's a balance with the Hierophant. I think that this is sort of a balance card, and finding the balance. So this is the overarching energy that's in the entire reading, is this sort of calming, relaxed sense of just trying to find that balance within everything that's going on. And I think that the Hierophant kind of exemplifies that. Okay. And the immediate future is the Queen of Cups. Feminine energy. Feminine energy is going to rule the day. We're sick of the toxic masculinity. We're sick of the saber rattling. We're sick of all of that stuff. The feminine energy is coming in with a balance of saying, look, we need to find a resolution to these problems. We need to come together and resolve these problems, but we have to look to the feminine to do it, because it seems to me that the mothers and the sisters and the grandmothers and the kid and the girls are going to be the ones that are going to say, wait, enough is enough of this stuff. We're not interested in who has the biggest sword. We're not interested in who has the most money. We're not interested in who can rattle their swords the loudest. We're just not into it. We're not into this stuff. And I think that this is, the Queen of Cups is a very, I think, logical, but also emotional personification. And she says, look, I don't want to lose members of my family because some guy has decided that he wants to do all this stuff. I just don't. I don't want to lose anybody just because of all of this. Okay. Hopes and fears is the Eight of Wands. And the Eight of Wands is a sort of a card that comes out of the... It's like you've been in conflict for a while and you're coming out of that conflict, but yet you are determined to continue to forge ahead and to keep going, even though you're not necessarily at the Nine of Wands state where you're just exhausted and you just don't want to do anymore and you're just like hanging on to your wand and you're just like, ugh, you have that exhaustion and stuff like that. The Eight of Wands is more of a determination card that you're going to continue to work forward, and that you have a calm or a good path ahead. How others see you is the Lovers card. And I don't know if this is necessarily about love, as in romantic love as depicted in the card. I think this is more of you're seeing who's allied to whom, and you're seeing this sort of the sense that this person is really tired of, people are really tired of seeing these people like the leader of Russia and the leader of the U.S., in this sort of romance going on. I mean, people are just tired of seeing it, and they're tired of dealing with it, because it's the outcome of what these two people are deciding to do that is really creating a lot of the issues that are going on. So people are really tired, and they're tired of seeing these two people, have such a big impact on what happens in the rest of the world. They don't want to see it anymore. What other people hopes? The hopes is Five of Swords. This is, I think, what we hope will be the outcome for these warmongers. This disappointing. You have somebody wearily sitting in the back. What I'm drawn to is this person in the back. They're sitting, they have this staff, and they're like hunched over it. And it makes me think of Daffy Duck and Marvin Martian. And they blow up the entire moon. I don't know if you've seen this cartoon, but I always think of that when I think of all this stuff, with all this saber rattling and stuff that these people do. Daffy Duck and Marvin Martian have just blown up the entire planet, and they're going around saying, I'm taking this planet in the name of Earth, and I'm taking this planet in the name of Mars. Isn't that lovely? That kind of thing. And then they blow up the whole place, and you see them nose to nose at the very end of the cartoon. They're nose to nose with each other, and Daffy Duck pushes Marvin Martian off of it, and he says, I declare this in the name of Earth, and he's like all triumphant and victorious. And all you see is like a piece of Earth, or a piece of Earth just hanging in space, and it looks like a golf tee. And at the bottom you see Porky Pig, and you see the dog, the Marvin Martian's dog, and Marvin Martian hanging from the bottom of it. And they go into Porky Pig, and he says, big deal. This is what I think of when I see this card. When this card comes up, that's the image that I get. I get the image of somebody basically cutting off their nose to spite their face. Because big deal. Big deal. And the final outcome is the Magician. And this is Major Arcana. And the Magician is not just the one who, like, I always think of sleight of hand with their cards up the sleeve, where you're, wanting to cheat or whatever, and you're wanting to, but I think in this instance, I think the Magician signifies someone who is willing to come in and have a different way of looking at things, different from all the stuff that's been going on in the past. Someone who is, I don't want to say more powerful, but I do want to say that that person is coming in and they're saying that we don't want to do things the way that we've been doing them in the past, that there has to be some other way of doing stuff. And I think that that's what this card signifies. The Magician is general, as a being Major Arcana and being the outcome. I mean, we've got 3 major arcanas in this reading. We've got Justice, we've got the Hierophant, and then we have the outcome. We have the Magician. And I think, let me just go into the book, and I'm going to read what the Magician signifies, because I think that this is kind of important. And I think that, just right to it. This is great. The Magician looks directly at us with a concentrated gaze. So make it a little bit bigger here. Before him, we see the 4 elements of the tarot represented, the tools of his trade magically and mysteriously suspended in the air, which he has mastered through dedication and concentration of will. A bright light emanates from above his head. He is the link between heaven and earth that brings forth the manifestation of matter. We are aware that we are in the presence of a master with fine-tuned abilities and skills. The number 1 represents creative potential and power, the beginning. So a new beginning is coming. The Magician's message is to inform you that you have all the skills and ability required to handle a task well and bring it to a successful conclusion. Just like the Magician, you must apply yourself with concentration and willpower in order to succeed, but you have all the potential to do so. This is time for action and initiative in any new venture. You need to have confidence that you are indeed heading in the right direction. So, yeah. So, with this as a final outcome, with all of the stuff that's going on, all the conflict that's happening, this is a great card to have. Because this isn't about someone pulling cards out from under their sleeve. This is about someone showing their truest potential and being able to overcome certain obstacles and situations. So that's the read for this. I'm going to turn the camera around so you can see the cards all laid out here, hopefully. Okay. There we go. There we go. There they are. So, and sorry about my messy desk again. The messy desk is kind of symbolic of the chaos. So here we go. So that's the card layout. Okay, so I'm now going to pull. I'm going to do another reading. This is going to be a really long video because I haven't done a video in a few days, and I really want to give you guys something other than just me blabbering on about everything that's going on in my life. And I figured that this would be kind of a good way to do it. So I'm going to slot these cards back in here. Okay, there we go. So, yeah, yeah, this is, so I like the Magician at the end. Oh, here's, Magician needs to go back in here too. So just because I like the card doesn't mean it has to stay on the table, right? So that's the read on what's going on. And so that is what I get for what's going on. I'm going to now read on what can we do? So what is our options? What can we personally do to get through these days and weeks of uncertainty, of chaos, of instability, of all of these things? What can we as individuals do to get through all of this? Because it's not easy. It's not an easy time right now. And, we are working towards, getting through everything that's going on. We are trying to get through what's happening. And the reality is we are burdened. So, what can we do to get through the coming days and weeks? What can we do? Cards for us. Guides, please give us some wisdom that what we can do in the coming days and weeks. One more shuffle? Yeah, one more shuffle. Poker shuffle. Come on, cards. There we go. Oops, that one flipped out. I'll just leave it there. Okay. And what we can do is the Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune, turn, turn, turn. Tell us the lesson that we must learn. Anybody who knows Animaniacs probably remembers that. But Wheel of Fortune is, it's not yet decided. Everything is kind of in the air. So we have to hold on. We have to wait, but we have to hold on and see what's going to come next. So that's the card. That's where we're at. It's crossed by the Ten of Pentacles. Again, the treasure chest. It's crossed by the moneyed interest. It's crossed by all the people who are like trying to prosper during with the uncertainty. They're the media, the people who are, filling their pockets and lining their pockets with lots of money and things like that. I mean, this treasure chest basically shows us exactly what we're crossed with. Everything that we're going to have in our lives is crossed by those who have that don't want to give or share. That is what we are contending with. The underlying energy, the base of the situation, the King of Pentacles, of course. The rich fat cat in the White House who wants more and more and more and more for himself. He doesn't care about anybody else. He just wants for himself, and that's all that matters to him. That's what we're faced with, is this character who wants everything for himself. In the past, we have the Ten of Wands, and that's the burden, carrying the burden, trudging forward and carrying the burden that is caused by this. So this is the burden that we've had to deal with and that contend with. The overarching energy is the Empress. This is a rebirth. This is the rebirth, and this is like whether he likes it or not, things are going to change. This emphasizes, and this being Major Arcana emphasizes that this situation has got to change. Otherwise, things will not get better for anybody. But it is a rebirth. The current energy that we're our immediate future that we're kind of living with is the Four of Pentacles. Again, the hoarder, the one who's taking all the stuff for himself and not sharing with anybody else, taking social networks away, taking things away like Medicaid and things like that, trying to hoard for themselves and not caring about the little guy or where the little guy is going. This is the current energy that that we are kind of living in with this, or this is what these people want, but this is going to rule the day. Your hopes and fears is the Lovers. Again, the Lovers card comes up, and the Lovers is, so for us, the Lovers is finding that connection, finding that communities, finding the people that are close to us who can give us the reassurance that we need to get through everything that's going on. So, yeah. How others see you, the Death card. That's how we see what's going on. That's how we see the guy in the White House. We see him with this card. Hopes and fears, or what you want Wish for is the Queen of Pentacles, another Pentacles card. This is prosperity. This is what we want to see for ourselves with regards to the way things are going. We want to have prosperity. Everybody wants to have prosperity. And the way that she's holding this, there's a caringness about her and a caring disposition. We want to help each other. We want to help ourselves. We want to help our families, our friends, our communities. We want to do these things, and we know that we are capable of doing these things. And that's what this card, I think, signifies. And the final outcome, the Fool. Sometimes you have to step out in faith and hope that all will work out, even though sometimes it feels like it's not working out and that there's no way forward, no feasible way forward. And the Fool is personified by that idea of stepping out in faith and being able to overcome situations and coming through to the light and seeing the light of day. So that's what I got. Okay, let me turn the camera around, and then you can see the card. Okay, and they're all laid out there. I think it's interesting that we have all these pentacle cards coming up in this, and this just shows the impact of money in politics, money in power, money in people who are basically trying to make themselves out to be, Three of Swords, heartache, disappointment, treason, you name it, it's there. But I think that there's like all this stuff playing out where you have these people who are basically who are hoarding everything for themselves and not caring about the other people. And we're seeing that in real time. We're seeing that playing out in the way that people, react and act towards each other. And I think that this is it's very, very sad, but this is how things happen, and this is what is truly going on with the world. But the fact that people are still fighting against all of this, Fool card is beat back on them. But the fact that people are still fighting about things like this, and people are saying, I don't want to fight anymore. I don't want us to go to war or fight with people because of ideologies or because I want more. The Veruca Salts of the world. I want more, and I want it now. This is where we are. We have the people who don't, and it's not about us wanting more and more and more money or whatever. We just want to survive. We just want to make it through until tomorrow and know that all will be well in the end. And what the cards are telling me should give us hope that the world is, although a bit crazy, we can make it through when we care for each other and we put our priorities and set our priorities in the place where we care and want the best for all of us, and not just for ourselves, but for everybody, for the world. And during our concert, we sang a song, and it was really kind of funny because I don't want to say funny, but as in ha-has, but funny as in kind of odd. But our choir director had picked a song for us called Freiheit, which means freedom in English. And in the song, we sing a line about dreaming about freedom and wanting and desiring freedom. And then we get to a part where it says, where you're dancing on the grave. That's the direct translation of the line. And the director said, we have to sing the line with anger and the word is zorn, which is like English. In English, it means anger, hostility. And the image that flashes through my mind every time we sang that song and every time we sang that particular line was the U.S. president. And I was able every single time to sing that song with so much anger and so much hostility and so much frustration that when I got through singing that one line, then we had another line, freedom. And every single time that I sang freedom, there was like that release. There was like that feeling of, I don't want to say euphoria, but that feeling of release, of letting all that anger go, letting all that hostility go. So it's like at that one point, it builds up where you're singing it, and then like a balloon and a needle, and the anger is gone. The anger has dissipated. It has moved away from me. It's in a new place, and there's no reason at all to feel that hostility anymore. It's gone. It's done. And it's absolutely an amazing feeling. And so that is the feeling or the hope that I have for all of you. That regardless of what happens, that you recognize the anger, you recognize what it is that makes you angry and what it makes that makes you frustrated. And then you let it go. And then you feel that release. And then it's like everything changes. The energy changes, the feelings change. And what the guides are telling me is it changes you from the inside out. And when other people see you and they see you in that positive state, then they know that things will get better, that things will get better. And I believe wholeheartedly that things will get better. We may be in the bottom of the pit right now, but when you're in the bottom of the pit, the only way to look is up, and that's where the light is. Look up, embrace the light, and know that all will be well. And I think that's what the cards are telling me. So I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you for staying with me, and I hope this makes up a little bit for my being totally absent the last 3 or 4 days. And hopefully the people who unsubscribed will come back and subscribe. Because I'm really sorry if I'm not living up to what you are hoping for or sending the message that you really want to hear. I do care about that. I care about you, and I care about how you feel. And I know that things are right now very, very difficult. But I know that we have the power to see through. We will see things through. We will come to the other side of that, and all will be well. And with that, I say thank you for being here. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing. And I hope that you have a great day. Take care. And as always, namaste.